Yo, what's up, guys? So I've had a few people commenting on a post I made the other day on TikTok involving the Scarlett 3rd Gen series audio interfaces and the new Focusrite Control 2 software update that they have provided for us. People are either scared to do it or they're having issues with setting it up, different things like that. So I'll just kind of go over this, give you a rundown of what to do, what not to do, how to set it up, kind of help you get it fixed and get it figured out. So first things first, I own a Scarlett 18i8 3rd gen interface. So the way you're going to do this, because I'm reading people's comments and people replying to me on Reddit, everywhere else, doing the exact opposite of what I said to do. So what you don't do is go to this page and log in and then just go straight to software and then download Focusrite Control and install it. Do not do that. I can't stress how many times I keep telling people stop doing it that way. The way I said it originally was easy to understand. So anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to log in. You're going to go to your little account button over here on the right top. And then you're going to go over here to My Hardware. It's going to load, obviously. And then it's going to tell you all your information, right? And then what you're going to do from there is you're going to download. You're going to click Downloads, Drivers, right? And once you do that, you're going to only go for the one that says Focusrite Control 2 for whatever device you have. And then once you do that, download, you're done with the rest of that. So before you install said download, right, make sure you open up your Focusrite Control 1, screenshot, take pics, whatever you need to do of your input settings, your mixer settings, your routing settings. Do all of that before you install this, because it will force you to factory reset your interface for this new driver. And in process of that, you will lose all your settings. And then once it is fully installed, it will force you to delete, like uninstall Focusrite Control 1, because that's just how this works. I keep having people come back with some crazy comments to me talking about, oh, I gave them the wrong advice, he did this, did that. And then I was like, okay, well, what did you do? What was your steps? And I keep seeing the same outcome for whatever reason. These weirdos, they go to do the install process, and then when it tells them it's going to factory reset, they cancel the factory reset, they decline it, so it doesn't actually install the driver, and then Focusrite Control 2 isn't working now on their computer, and now they don't have Focusrite Control 1 either. So it just doesn't make sense. You go to install a driver and then don't install the driver properly. That just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so I just did this update the other day before I made my post. Issues I was having with my 18i8 3rd gen was going into my mixer, right? When I'm using my mic or my guitar, the mute, this is called your dry signal, right? Muting wasn't working. I was still hearing my guitar even with my DAW closed, right? Same thing with my mic. With the DAW closed, still heard it. So muting literally did nothing. It was just a placebo effect button at that point. Did nothing. Wasn't doing anything at all. My DAW kept having crashes. I had to keep pulling up audio settings, the ASIO panel, and literally just sitting here and having to keep switching the buffer size off and on once in a while, because it kept just going into some kind of, I don't know, standby mode. I don't know what to call it, but it just stopped. It would stop working randomly. So This update fixed all of the issues completely that I was having with that. So when you do the install all the way. Fully install it. Don't be one of these weirdos and click decline because, oh no, it's going to affect your reset. Yeah, imagine wiping something and then putting fresh software on it. That's kind of what an update is. So yeah, weirdos out there. Anyway, getting into the rest of this now. So if you want your stuff to look cleaned up like this, before we get into that, what you're going to do, as soon as you open Focusrite Control 2, you're going to go to the top left here. You're going to go to sample rate and switch it to 44.1 kilohertz, unless you are making movies. You do not need 48 kilohertz. It's literally too much and can cause latency and other problems depending on your system, as we call it, the bench speed. So I would just leave it. This is 44.1 kilohertz is your studio, like CD professional quality for your audio. This is literally all you need. So put it where it's got to be. All right, now routing. We'll get to that. So if you want your mixer to look like this and not be crazy looking, you're going to go to channels as soon as you get to this part of it. Your analog is your physical inputs, right, for your mic, your guitar. So just uncheck whatever you don't need. I don't think you have 8 devices plugged in at once. If you do, have fun with that. So just uncheck whatever you don't need. I would recommend I'm tired, recommend having one playback. This is your loop back option. So if you ever stream or just whatever, screen share, you might need loop back for some things like TikTok Live Studio or certain things like that. You have to use loopback because it acts weird. So there's that. So boom, we're done with that. And then what you're going to do so that you get rid of that dry signal, you don't want to hear your guitar when the guitar should not be heard with your DAW closed. You're going to hit mute on this. You're going to hit mute on the mic. And now, the only thing with this, if you're podcasting or something like that, you might have to come in here and unmute depending on what your setup is for your mic. Because if you're not using a DAW into whatever your podcast or whatever you're doing, you might have to use the driest signal. So just keep that in mind. You'll have to turn this off and on occasionally for that. Now we're going to go to your inputs. Now if you're running a mic, I would, if it's a dynamic, not condenser, dynamic mic, put air and then instrument. If you are using a condenser mic, you might need the 48 volt boost. Air, I don't think you would need it. I would hope not. But just I would play with that as needed to your sound preferences. For a guitar, just put it on instrument. You're good to go. Now, getting into the routing, this should be set pretty much already for you, but if not, this is my setup. So I have my outputs in the back. I switch this, according to whatever I need, obviously. And then headphone, I just got it in the mix A, and then these, just whatever. And so that's that setting. And then now your metering, you can use this as just to kind of monitor and see if anything's clipping and vice versa. So it comes in handy to just kind of monitor things from there. And aside from all that, man, you are set up and ready to go with your Focusrite Control 2. I hope this helped. If you have any issues for whatever reason, I guess drop me a comment, send me a message, whatever. Depends on what platform you're watching this on. And I will try to help you out the best I can. Anyway, like, share, and have a good day.